And we're live.
We are.
Holy crap. This is a long time coming.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. So, this is our very first episode of Choosing Us. And the funny part is, Michaela's actually brought this up to me apparently like multiple times. And I never caught it. I didn't know that.
I was surprised you didn't. I literally brought this up numerous times of we should do a relationship podcast because you have your own podcast.
Yep.
And I was like, that's awesome. That's great. We have a really good relationship. And I was just like, let's do this. And obviously it just never stuck till recently.
I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't think you were serious or what. I don't know. But here we are. And the real kickoff, how this started, to give you a little premise, just like your life, our life is the life we live. It's who we are. And so it just seems normal.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with our listeners, right? You have your life and your life seems normal. So you don't think you're obscure or different in any way, but you are.
Right.
And you do things a curious way. And then we got invited, or actually Michaela got invited to her friend's podcast as a guest to discuss communication for relationships. And I was her second half. I don't know. I was her guest. So I was the guest of the guest. And that was our first podcast together, which led us into this is something that we should probably do.
It was really cool because I had been wanting to do it, obviously. Like, I had been bringing it up to you for a while. And then this opportunity came up with my friends, Britt and Robin, who they have a podcast called Community. And we had the opportunity to be guests on that. And it really excited me and just lit a fire under my butt that I was like, I want this. I want to do this. And then when the podcast came out, the episode, and the feedback we got was really cool. And that got me more excited that was kind of like a confirmation for me that this is what we need to be doing. Because we had so many people message us and be like, this episode was amazing. This really stuck with me. I got a lot of tips from this. I needed to hear this. And that was really cool. And so I'm really excited for this. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It really brought to light that we are unusual in a positive light. We're unusual regularly. Okay, I'm unusual regularly. But it just shows that the principles that we live by as a couple, it really hit home for a lot of people. And in that episode with Britt and Robin, we covered a lot of ground. It was over 2 episodes long. It was 45 minutes, and we were just going like gangbusters on a variety of topics, and decided we wanted to go deeper in each topic, which is why the premise of this episode, so when you start listening, these episodes will be approximately 15 minutes. We're going deep dive on one topic, one nugget to give to you to implement in your relationship today. Your significant other, your spouse, those people that you love and hold dear, how you can show up today.
Which I love that because the episode that we did was a really good experience and a look into what we can help people with. But there was so much content in one episode that I'm really excited to break down these topics and to be able to, people can look through the different episodes and see something that's really important to them or sticks out to them or something they're trying to work on and listen to just a 15-minute episode on that one topic. And it is direct, to the point. This is short, simple tips that you can do today to improve your relationships.
Yeah, I love it. So, if you want to grow your relationship, if you want to improve or hear our version of a relationship, that's what this show is about. We're here to help you. You are the hero of the story. And we are simply the guides that are just letting you on the inside scoop on how we think, what we do, and how we're just what we think is normal, but apparently unusual.
Apparently.
And we're going to deep dive into a lot of topics. We're going to get pretty vulnerable. We're going to get pretty sensitive. And that's important. It's really important to see into people's lives and to share with them. We have friends that have other podcasts that go pretty deep. We're probably not going to go super deep on some of those topics because we'll remain family friendly.
We might have, this is a relationship podcast, so I'm sure we'll have 1 or 2 episodes.
We will have episodes on intimacy because it's
Yep.
important. Let's be honest. It's extremely important.
Yep.
But we'll still stay family friendly.
Yes.
And keep it wholesome.
Yep.
And keep it focused on giving you a tactic to grow today.
Yes.
Something that's simple, something that's easy.
Yeah. It's going to be a really cool journey to watch how this progresses. And it's not just about us. It's about the listeners and what the listeners want to hear. And we will share our relationship and what we have learned in the past 10 years being together. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you guys are struggling with in your relationships. We want to hear things that you want to improve on, things that you want to grow and progress, and things to strengthen your relationships, because I know that every relationship is different. And we're here to help you guys.
Yeah. So a little bit about us. We are the Drapers, Brad and Michaela. We have been together 10 years. We've been married 9.5 years. So we met the night of August 31st, morning of September 1st. Who knows? It was midnight. So
Yep, 2013.
2013, midnight, we met at the gay bar on the dance floor.
We
Of all
did.
the places, I challenge anybody to top that.
It was pretty memorable, that's for sure.
And then we messaged on Facebook. And we'll get into this topic a little bit later, but we're going to give a brief overview. But I told her to find me on Facebook.
Yeah. And I got into the car and pulled up my phone, went on Facebook, found him, messaged him, and then we talked until probably 5 a.m.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a little bit of time. So we'll say, I told her to find me on Facebook because in previous times I've given women my number that I met and they don't know if I'm a creep, and that's totally valid. And so sometimes they would give me a fake number or they would respond once and never text me back. So I kind of put the onus on Michaela of if you really want to reach out to me, one, you might be a creep. I don't know about you. So add me on Facebook. I can always block you if I need to,
There
if
you
you're a
go.
little bit crazy. But if not, then we can exchange numbers from there. So I wanted a veil of secrecy a little bit for myself, but also for her.
I mean, because you never know who you're going to meet at midnight at a gay bar.
This is true. This is true. So yes, we messaged on Facebook that night till about 4 or 5 a.m. I had to work at 6 a.m. And it was wild, to say the least. Our first date was that night. We went and saw The Conjuring.
Yep, at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yep. And it was at about 11:30 p.m. showing after she got off as a waitress.
Yep.
And I took her home and we went on our second date the next day, Sunday. And we went motorcycle riding. And then
Yeah.
the third date, which was Labor Day, we went to a park. We went to Liberty Park in Salt Lake City, Utah, and just had a conversation. We went to Cafe Zupas for lunch and then went to the park and just had a conversation. And that was date number 3.
And we'll go a lot more into that date, I'm sure, on other episodes as well.
Yep.
Because that was the big one. That was the hard conversations. And that was a really important date for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. That one, and we will deep dive into that date and the premise of that date because it was very intentional and why we had the date that we had and what we did. And I don't remember date 4 and 5 and 6 and whatever else. We ended up hanging out literally every day.
Every single day.
And then we got engaged unofficially in October, officially engaged, bought the ring. Well, told everybody in November on Thanksgiving Day,
Yep.
and then proposed on
In December
what day?
the 15th.
I always forget it. I always say 18th, and she says 5th.
I think it's 15th, in December.
Middle of December.
Yep. It's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube. And we were married June 13th, 2014.
Yep.
Friday the 13th, it was a full moon.
Yep. That was very important to you.
It was important. So that was the premise on how we met. And from meeting to married was 9 months.
Yeah.
For those in Utah, that's fairly normal. Outside of Utah, not normal.
Nope.
That is extremely fast.
Yeah.
And to boot, Michaela and I are 5.5 years apart. I was 25 when we got married.
I was
She
19.
was 19.
Yep. I was baby. And my entire family was like, you just met this guy. What are you thinking? But I had been in a few relationships prior that didn't go very well. And I wasn't treated the way that I wanted to be treated. And I think it was just really cool and a big realization for me when we got together of how you treated me and how respectful you were. And that in itself was huge. And to know that you were always going to put me first and our relationship first. And honestly, you had your crap together. That was a big part of it. So I was like, I can get on board with this. He knows what he's doing. And so that was huge. And it just has been great ever since.
And fast forward, we live in Utah. We've got 2 little rambunctious boys.
Yes.
They are 4 and 2. They are blonde hair, blue eyed / red hair, blue eyed.
Yep.
And they're a handful.
They are feral boys is what I call them. They are wild as can be.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I think in today's society, people try and tame little kids, especially little boys.
Yeah.
And it causes strife. It causes issue.
Which, I mean, our boys are still young, but I think we will also go into a few episodes about parenting and what we've learned so far. Obviously, we still got young kids, still learning as we go.
Always.
But we've learned a lot these past 4 years with our boys, especially, and things that are really important to us to help them grow, progress. And so I'm excited to share the things that we've learned as well.
So that is what we have for you today. Thank you for joining us. And we look forward to the conversations we're going to have. We're going to learn all kinds of stuff together.
I'm really excited about this. We chose the title Choosing Us because we choose us and choose each other every single day. It's not just, oh, you're married, you're together. This is, we choose each other every single day. And so I loved this title for our podcast because it's a daily choice that we make and that every couple has to make. And so I'm excited to just help couples be able to improve their relationships. And I know that a lot of couples struggle to just communicate, where communication is something we're really good at, that has been a strength of ours, that now talking to a lot of other couples, we've come to realize that that's not the normal. That's not something that most couples know how to do.
It's weird.
Yeah, just we thought that was normal. And so talking to lots of different couples, it will be cool to see just how we're able to share what we've done the past 10 years to be able to create the relationship that we have. Because I can honestly say that we are better now, 10 years in, than we were at the beginning.
For sure.
It wasn't always
100%.
easy. I remember there were so many struggles and trials the first few years. We had our rough patches.
Of course.
We are nowhere near a perfect couple in any way.
So
But we're working on that, and we are becoming our best selves and supporting each other as well. So,
foreshadowing things to come.
yes.
We're excited. So we hope you're excited as well. We want you to leave us reviews. Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you're listening to this thing, leave us a review. Share these conversations. Share these with your friends and your family, the people you think would benefit from these episodes. Each and every one, do your part, because that's the only way that this grows,
Yep.
which we're super stoked for. So like this thing, subscribe this thing, and download this thing so you
Yep.
can share with other people. Till next time.
Thanks, guys.